You're about to see 3 Scots wrestle 3 Gators right on TV. Don't believe me? Watch it now on Quiz Kids.
It's the Bay Area Quiz Kids. Brought to you by the San Mateo Credit Union. And now, the best host on the West Coast, Brad Friedman.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Quiz Kids. Yes, you are about to see something you have never seen before on TV. 3 Scots from Carlmont High School. Wrestling 3 Gators from Sacred Heart. Of course, it's intellectual wrestling. And we will start right now with our first three-for-all round. Gentlemen, I will ask toss-up questions. You can earn 5, 10, or 25 points, depending on how many answers you get correct. Good luck to both teams. Here's your first toss-up. This king of Phrygia protected Silenus in his garden until Dionysus came for him. Yes, David?
Midas.
Right. What did the greedy king request as his reward?
That everything he touched would be turned into gold.
That is right. Later, Midas served as the judge of a music contest between Marsyas and what god of music, who punished Midas for choosing his rival?
Apollo.
You got 25 points. Chiang Mai and Pattaya Chonburi are cities in what country ruled by King Rama IX from the capital of... Yes, Sanjay?
Thailand?
Yes. Dili is the capital of which country that earned its independence from Indonesia in 2002?
East Timor?
Right. And the Kayan, Shan, and Bamar are major ethnic groups in which country whose southern coast lies on the Andaman Sea?
No answer. No answer.
That's Burma. He was second in command under Leonard Wood in the Rough Riders of the Spanish-American War. Name this. Yes, Sloan.
Teddy Roosevelt?
Right. Roosevelt's 1912 progressive ticket is popularly known by the name of what animal?
The boar?
The bull moose. 1 kilogram meter per second squared is what unit of force named after an English... Yes, Sanjay?
Newton.
What unit of magnetic flux density equal to 10,000 Gauss is named for a Serbian-American scientist famous for his coil?
Tesla.
What SI unit of inductance is named after the American who was the first secretary of the Smithsonian Institute? Henry. Prior to World War II, Germany's army developed a method of overrunning enemies with motorized forces. David?
Blitzkrieg.
Blitzkrieg was first deployed against which eastern neighbor in 1939?
Poland.
The invasion of Poland was spearheaded by what tank divisions named by a medieval word for armor?
Panzer.
You got 25 points. It ends with Blanche Dubois being taken to a mental institution. Name this play whose other characters include Stanley Kowalski and his wife, Stella! Sloan.
A Streetcar Named Desire?
A Streetcar Named Desire is a play by which author of Sweet Bird of Youth and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof?
No answer.
Wow, that's Tennessee Williams, sir. Vesicles destined for this organelle are coated with a protein called copy. Name that organelle with rough and smooth types. Christopher.
The ER, or endoplasmic reticulum.
Yes. Proteins synthesized in the ER are packaged and sent in vesicles to which other organelle with cis and trans faces in which proteins are processed and modified?
The Golgi apparatus.
Yes. Proteins destined for these other organelles are tagged with mannose-6-phosphate. Inside them, cellular waste and debris are destroyed by enzymes, and these are?
Lysosomes.
You got 25 points. The Roaring Twenties are often referred to as this age. Name this. Yes, Sanjay?
Jazz?
Which Jazz Age author created Nick Carraway and Anthony Patch?
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
One well-known jazz work is what 1959 Dave Brubeck quartet piece in E-flat major, notable for its 5/4 time signature? It's called Take 5. Philadelphians often refer to their state government by this name. What city on the Susquehanna River is Pennsylvania's capital? Yes, Sanjay?
Harrisburg.
Which 4th most populous city in Pennsylvania is a Great Lakes port in the northwest corner of the state? You can talk it over.
No answer.
Erie. The Bishop of Urgel and the President of France are the co-princes of what microstate in the Pyrenees between Spain and France? Sanjay.
Andorra.
What tiny state lies between Switzerland and Austria in the Alps?
Luxembourg.
No, it's Liechtenstein. In Unix and Linux, forward slashes separate the names of these containers in a path. They hold files in a hierarchical tree. What are they called? Directories. Napoleon's invasion of Egypt was doomed by this British victory that cut the French supply lines. What was the 1798 naval battle named for a nearby river? Christopher.
The Nile Battle.
Yes. The Battle of the Nile. Which British admiral was made a baron after winning the Battle of the Nile and before he later defeated the French again at Trafalgar?
No answer.
It's Lord Horatio Nelson. And that leaves us with 60 to 70. We'll be right back after these messages.
Since 1952, San Mateo Credit Union has been proud to help San Mateo County members and their families achieve their financial dreams. Our deep commitment to the community we serve includes offering a wide variety of financial education programs, like financial literacy workshops for youth, adults, and seniors, seminars about raising money-smart kids, identity theft prevention, and many more. For more information about San Mateo Credit Union, visit us at www.smcu.org.
Hey, need some video work done? We can do that. We do all that video stuff. We can even put your video on that internet thingy. At Peninsula TV, we do full-blown in-studio production, talk shows, performances, speeches, anything. Remote multi-camera production, on location, at your event. And for the budget-minded, single camcorder production in high definition. We'll take your video project from first idea to finished product. For more info, contact Peninsula TV. And now it's time to meet the Quiz Kids. Once again, here's Brad.
We are back, and we're going to say hello to the Sacred Heart Gators. The Gators have decided they've been too serious. They need to be a newer and funnier team, like their ancestors of years gone by. So I'm looking forward to some wacky humor. David Ferranti, I understand you went on a trip recently.
Yeah.
And you went
impossible.
bird watching.
Yes.
Okay, and saw something kind of cool.
Yeah, 2 juvenile bald eagles.
Juvenile bald eagles, which are different from teenagers. You were explaining that they don't look quite the same as...
Yes, they don't get the white head and the dark plumage until they're around 5 years old.
I'm sorry. Okay, that was very good. Very good, David. Sloan Sturzenegger. Sloan, nobody can see right now that you've broken your foot. And you broke your foot in an interesting way. How did that happen?
Yeah, I was playing a trick on my religion teacher, and he said,
that's funny already.
yeah. So he said if you got raptured and taken away to heaven, you'd get an automatic A for the semester. So we made this elaborate scheme where I would jump out of the window and then convince him that I'd been raptured. So on the way down, I broke my foot.
So I'm sure we're going to get a lot of complaining calls.
Yes, probably.
And I'll see how much my producer is laughing at that. Good, good, good. Tom Kramer, you are quite the swimmer.
Yeah.
Swim for your school. And last spring, you got to swim against Michael Phelps. Mm-hmm. And how did he keep up with you?
He tried.
See, someone's got to be funny in this one, guys. So, but he did okay against you, but you did okay too.
He actually destroyed me. It wasn't even close.
He won.
Yeah.
He won. But good for you. And you're going to swim in college, aren't you?
Yeah.
And maybe you will be the kind of person that everyone wants to swim against in the future. I hope that for you, okay?
Thanks.
Gentlemen, you're close, but you're not in the lead yet. You may have a chance to do that if you can answer the questions in the next round. I have 7 questions, each worth 10 points. Give me the correct answer to all 7 questions. I'll throw in a 30-point bonus. First, you have to pick the category for today. The categories are coloring book, it's elementary, and very short answers.
Okay. Very short answers.
Very short answers. These answers are only a single letter long, okay? Give me the single letter for the following. What single letter is the nickname of the 43rd president?
W.
That's right. Not even W, W.
W.
What letter denotes a piano note above G?
A.
That's right. What single letter means 500 in Roman numerals?
D.
Correct. The single letter that titles the first novel by Thomas Pynchon.
X.
It's V. You were close. Which is the most common letter in Scrabble?
E.
Right. Which single letter indicates the vitamin phyloquinone?
F.
It's vitamin K. And finally, the name of the letter that it names a score measuring celebrities' appeal and fame.
Like A-list?
We call that their Q rating. And that, I believe, is 40 points. Good luck, congratulations, and hello. Good luck, congratulations, and hello. Before we get my replacement, I'm going to interview the Carlmont Scots and Sanjay Srinivas, who is playing fantasy football with his family. So before we break up this illegal gambling ring, how does this work?
So my cousins and I and some of their friends, we get into a fantasy football league every year. We all put up some money, and then whoever wins gets most of it.
And your parents let you gamble like this?
Absolutely.
Plus you win, so your mom likes that.
Yes, I've won twice.
Good, good, good. Well, keep it going. Christopher May, you're on the robotics team.
Yep, we're actually playing basketball this year, so it should be really cool.
But you're in kind of a status right now of waiting for the next round?
Okay, so we're supposed to have stopped build a week ago, but it never really ends.
No, robotics never really ends, does it, Christopher?
No.
Good luck. Sandeep Srinivas, you were part of a string quartet.
Yeah, so me and a couple of my friends, we started this.
Wait a minute. Last week we had a 6-member quintet, and now you and a couple of your friends, the 3 of you, have formed a quartet.
Yeah, this is definitely 4 people.
Something is so wrong here. So you are 4.
Yeah.
And you love Dvorak.
Yeah, we're playing his American quartet right now.
At a bar mitzvah or wedding near you, whenever you wish.
Hopefully.
Let's hope so. Gentlemen, I'm going to give you a chance to take back your lead. Just pick a category. Coloring book or it's elementary?
It's elementary.
Yes. The sources of element names. Which element takes its name from the Greek for sun?
Helium.
Right. How about the Roman god of the underworld?
Plutonium.
That's right. The Greek for rock?
Iron.
Lithium. The Latin for charcoal?
Carbon.
Right. A University of California campus?
Berkelium.
Yes. The furthest planet from the sun?
Neptunium.
And finally, the ancient Latin term for modern France?
Iron.
No, it's gallium. I believe that gives you 50 points, 120 to 100. Let's see what happens when we return. Don't go away.
And now we're back with the second half of Quiz Kids. Take it away, Brad.
Will you join me for expressing our appreciation to the coaches for both teams? First from Carlmont, Miss Patricia Braunstein. And from Sacred Heart, Mr. Kevin Morris. All right, gentlemen, it's a close game, and we're back to the 3-for-all. This time, the point values are doubled, 10, 25, and 50. Good luck to both teams. Here's your first toss-up. A Shakespearean sonnet has 14 lines of what verse form that indicates yes, Sloan?
A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D.
No. Prompt. I need a name for the verse form.
Yeah.
Iambic pentameter.
I'm sorry. I'm going to go over to you guys. You can steal.
The English form?
I just need, yes, I'm going to finish the question. A Shakespearean sonnet has 14 lines of what verse form that indicates 10 syllables per line, 5 stressed and 5 unstressed?
Iambic pentameter.
Correct. Unrhymed iambic pentameter is known as what form of verse? Unrhymed.
Free verse?
A blank verse. Only the person who buzzes in is allowed to answer, okay? Here's the next toss-up. An atom with its lowest possible energy is said to be in this specific... Yes, Sanjay?
Ground state?
Yes. Any state other than the ground state is known by what enthusiastic-sounding 7-letter term?
The excited state?
Yes. Which term denotes any pair of states that have exactly the same energy?
Equal states?
No, degenerate states. They form a stair step from boron to tellurium. Name this group of elements that have properties. Yes, Sanjay?
Metalloids?
Group 12 elements like zinc and cadmium are sometimes included in what group that definitely includes metals with an incomplete D subshell?
Semiconductors?
No, transition metals. The Cherokee and other tribes were forced to move by the Indian Removal Act under, yes,
Trail of
David?
Tears?
Yes. What country was the site of the Long March in which communists trekked 6,000 miles to establish a new home base while under attack by the nationalists?
It's China.
Right. Which Southeast Asian country was the site of World War II's Bataan Death March, during which more than 7,000 prisoners of war died?
Japan?
No, it was the Philippines. In August 2011, this company lost its place as the world's largest. Name that oil company then valued at, yes, Christopher?
ExxonMobil?
Which technology company co-founded by Steve Jobs overtook ExxonMobil by about $6 billion?
Apple?
The world's largest moniker is based on what measure equal to the number of shares of stock in a company times its current price?
The value?
No, it's the market cap. He wrote about the nature of aesthetic evaluations in his Critique of Judgment. Name this 18th century German philosopher who had earlier, yes, Sanjay?
Kant?
Kant wrote that he was awoken from a dogmatic slumber by reading the works of which Scottish philosopher who wrote a treatise of human nature? Hume. In 1903, she became the first woman to win a Nobel Prize. Who shared that physics prize? Yes, Sanjay.
Curie?
The Curies also shared their prize with which man who discovered radiation while working with uranium? It's Henri Becquerel. This nation's support for a secret society called the Black Hand earned it an ultimatum from Austria-Hungary. Yes, Sandeep?
Serbia?
What victim of Serbian nationalist plots was assassinated in Sarajevo to set World War I in motion?
Franz Ferdinand?
After World War I ended, Serbia became part of what newly established kingdom?
Yugoslavia?
You got 50 points. This character explains to Alice the meaning of many words in Jabberwocky. Name the egg-shaped fellow who in the nursery rhyme had a great fall. Sloan.
Humpty Dumpty?
Which Robert Penn Warren novel about the political career of Willie Stark takes its title from a line in Humpty Dumpty?
Yeah. All the King's Men?
Right. In turn, All the King's Men inspired the title of All the President's Men, an account of the Watergate break-in by 2 Washington Post reporters. Name either one of these reporters.
Deep Throat?
No, it was Woodward and Bernstein. They used Deep Throat as a source. In its structural type, there are jobs available, but workers do not have the skill sets to fill them. Name this quantity, the percentage of people willing to work who cannot find Sloan.
Unemployed?
Right. Which type of unemployment is the transition period that a jobless person spends between his or her old job and his or her new job?
Temporary unemployment?
No, it's frictional unemployment. And that's the last question in this round. 260 to 160. Can Sacred Heart catch up? Let's find out when we return.
Tournament champions will win an all-expenses-paid trip to Europe, courtesy of ACIS.
All right, we have one round to go, the countdown round. I will put 3 minutes on the clock. The questions are worth 30 points. 260 for Carlmont, 160 for Sacred Heart. The clock will start when I begin reading the first question. Good luck to both teams. Here you go. The HMS Sheffield was sunk during what 1982 conflict that began with Argentina's Christopher?
The Falklands War?
Right. Battle of Badr and the Night of Power took place during what lunar month, which by the pillar of Islam known as Psalm is the month of David?
Ramadan?
Right. They play at Raymond James Stadium, won Super Bowl. Yes, Sanjay?
Buccaneers?
Right. Based on the Chinese legend of the Monkey King, it follows a character whose adoptive father and son are both named after the Japanese word for rice or meal. What is this manga and anime about collecting 7 powerful objects which grant... Yes, Christopher?
Dragon Ball Z?
Right. The Boomerang Nebula is the natural object closest to what point unreachable by the third law of thermodynamics, that is the lowest temperature? Sanjay.
Absolute zero.
Yes. The cuckoo, cow, and peacock were sacred to what Greek goddess? Yes, David.
Hera.
Right. Jason Aldean's 2011 country hit Don't You Wanna Stay is a duet with what former American Idol winner whose hits? Sanjay.
Carrie Underwood.
Sorry?
Carrie Underwood.
No. Whose hits include Breakaway and Already Gone.
Kelly Clarkson.
Right. He created the Utah Territory and signed the Compromise of 1850. What vice president came into power upon the death of fellow Whig Zachary Taylor? Christopher.
Millard Fillmore.
Right. Originally named the poet, which Auguste Rodin sculpture depicts a contemplative Dante? Sloan.
The Thinker.
Yes. A scale arced at 60 degrees is part of what device that uses an index mirror in measuring the angles of elevation of stars for navigation? Sloan.
A sextant.
Right. A recent film by this man examined the temperance movement and its effects and is titled Prohibition. Name this filmmaker famous for his documentary films such as Baseball and the Civil War? Sloan.
Ken Burns.
Right. This novel's characters include a little girl named Pearl, born out of wedlock. Sloan.
The Scarlet Letter.
Right. The American Railway Union was co-founded by which leader of the Pullman strike who was a 5-time presidential candidate? Yes, Sanjay.
Eugene Debs.
Right. It is home to the authors of the novels Oscar and Lucinda and Voss, Peter Carey and Patrick White, respectively. What Down Under nation's capital is? Yes, Sloan.
Sydney.
No, I'm sorry. What Down Under nation's capital is? Canberra.
Australia.
Right. In the hopes of preventing another war, its signatories created the League of Nations. What international treaty? Yes, Sloan.
Treaty of Versailles.
Right. His novel, The Sound of the Fury, follows the Compson family. Sandeep.
William Faulkner.
Right. He was satirized as Dr. Pangloss in Voltaire's Candide. Monadology was a 1714 text by which mathematician who, like Newton, developed a version of Yes,
Leibniz.
Sloan.
Leibniz.
Right. His works include a piano concerto in F, Catfish Row, and a Cuban overture, I Got Rhythm. Yes, Sanjay.
Gershwin.
Right. I need actually the name.
George.
Right. This government declared a new year zero in 1975 when it launched an agrarian utopia that had disastrous Sloan.
China.
No. Disastrous consequences. Over 1 million people died in its killing fields from 1975 to 1979 until finally Vietnam invaded. Pol Pot presided over what dictatorship that ruined Cambodia? What is it?
Well, Cambodia.
That is, I'm going to say yes, and that is the end of the game. 5:30 to 5:60 to 4:30. Carlmont wins the game. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Promotional consideration furnished by the Burlingame Scottish Rite, the Knights Templar, Model Compilers, the Bay Area Academic League. Some questions of Quiz Kids are provided by National Academic Quiz Tournaments.